There's this woman named Basic. There's this Bosnian woman that was found in Kentucky, in Powell County, working at a Nestle plant in Mount Sterling when federal marshals arrested her in 2011. Now, she became a naturalized citizen. She became a citizen of the United States legally in 2007. She come to the United States as a refugee in 1994. There was the Bosnian Civil War. Supposedly she had killed somebody and made them drink their blood. And so she ran away as a refugee in 1994. Now she was in Kentucky, in Powell County. She was in Lexington and Jessamine County, worked at different jobs, including a nursing home. And then they found her in 2011 working at a Nestle plant in Mount Sterling in Powell County. Right there in the war in Bosnia. It's complicated. You had the ethnic Serbs, and there was a Serbian that had killed the Archduke Franz Ferdinand, started World War I, a Serbian anarchist. Then you had the Croats and the Muslims. The Croats, Muslims, Serbs, Croats. Caldwell said in her ruling that Serbian forces engaged in ethnic cleansing, terrorizing non-Serb civilians to try to drive them out. So it was war, right? It was some fucked up shit. Now it says that Basic, this lady's last name, Basic, she took part in horrific conduct, including killing one man by stabbing him in the throat and then making other prisoners drink his blood. Working at Nestle. She's in Powell County. And some people are saying the evidence that we have is that there's civilians, that she was attacking civilians. They say that it's attacking military. Then there's the whole thing of extraditing. So she come to the United States as a refugee. She's been here, legally for quite a long-ass time. And now they're saying that they didn't issue the warrant of arrest properly. It was a long time ago. And whether or not, even if the Supreme Court gives the okay, then the Secretary of State decides whether or not. So this is Hillary Clinton. This is a Hillary Clinton decision, and she might, act like she's fucking tough and send this Basic, it's Ezra Basic, and send her back to Bosnia where she'll be hung, and I don't know if that's just or not. You really have to look at the crimes, making people drink their fucking blood, but war is hell, so what the fuck is going on? Retribution. I think, people, the victims deserve. The reason why it's news is because the federal appeals judges have upheld a decision allowing the extradition of Ezra Basic. So Ezra Basic is a Bosnian woman. She's going to be deported probably if the Supreme Court says okay and the Secretary of State sends her away to face trial in Bosnia and Herzegovina, which is what the country is known as. Something about a treaty doesn't allow extradition. You can check out that story. To me, this is the 6th district, okay? The 6th district, Powell County. Powell County is very close to she was in Lexington, right? Powell County is the population 12,600. It's a dry county. You're not even allowed to drink alcohol, and yet they got a fucking war criminal living in one of their hollers. Powell County. Its county seat is Stanton. It was formed in 1852 by Kentucky government. Powell's a dry county, so that means no fucking alcohol. Prohibition is still alive and well in many of Kentucky's 120 counties. There's Montgomery, Menifee, Wolf, Lee, Estill, and Clark County surrounds Powell County. So it's, pretty close to Lexington. Daniel Boone National Forest is there. Natural Bridge State Resort Park, Red River Gorge. So that's two important Kentucky's natural areas, right? I guess, I don't know. The county judge is James Anderson. Counties, it's 98.56%, so round up, it's 99% white. Powell County's 99%. There's only 12,600, and all of them are white. Okay, there's 0.62% black, so okay, there's a dozen black people that live in Powell County, which is more than the Native Americans, 0.12%, more than the Asians, 0.05%, and then more from other races, 0.07%, and even Hispanics, 0.66%. So it's lily white. You cannot get more fucking whiter than Powell County. They're Anglo-Saxon English white, so they should have noticed this Ezra Basic, this Bosnian woman, right? This is a Greek, Lower Eastern European woman. So 12,600 people that are there, all of them white. You had 18.9% of the families and 23.5% of the population were below the poverty line, including 31% of those under age 18 and 20% of those age 65 or over. 20%, 1 out of every 5 people in Powell County is impoverished. 1 out of 5. And so there's only 12,000 people. So 20% of 12,000 is whatever it is. That's, so, 10% would be 1,200. And so, 2,400 people. So that's, over 2,000 people. That sucks. You only have 12,000 people, so that means 1 out of 5 you all know, people that you see every day and know everybody's business, is poor. That sucks, and it probably bet the Lazarus W. Powell, the 19th governor of Kentucky, is kind of a remarkable kind of guy. I don't want to say he's a good or bad guy. The judgment's out. But the Whigs were dominating Kentucky politics because it's, fucking Henry Clay. But his election, he was a Democratic Party nominee, and so he was able to stop the Whigs. The Whigs were running the gauntlet, and so he only won by 850, defeated the Whigs. The Democrats were in power again. There was Cassius M. Clay, abolitionist, had run. A third candidate received 3,000 votes. Powell was the first Democrat elected to the office in almost 20 years. John L. Helm had ascended to the governorship on Crittenden's resignation. The Whigs had maintained control of the General Assembly, although Governor Powell was largely able to cooperate with his political opponents. Some clashed. That article about Ezra Basic was written up. They were saying that Powell made it sound like Mount Sterling is in Powell County, but that's not the case at all. Mount Sterling is in Montgomery County. And so, I guess Stanton, what was the capital of Powell County? Because every county in Kentucky has the capital seat, the city. And so it's a city-county state. And, I don't know. I think the county is very important to Kentucky and a Kentucky person's culture. I grew up in a small town, 9,000 population, and my class was less than 100. My graduating class of 2000 was less than 100. And so, like everybody knew everybody. It was small town stuff, so a lot of fucking typical, what you think about small towns. And so my point about the counties is that I grew up in Gallatin County High School, is where I graduated, Gallatin County Elementary. And so Gallatin County is very much a part of me. I also went to CMZ, which was Crittenden Mount Zion. And so the city of Crittenden in Grant County was a part of me. I went to Grant County Middle School, and then I went to Florida for 1 year, but mostly in Gallatin County. So I feel very much of a Gallatin County, and I'm a Kentuckian, but I'm Gallatin Countyan. And so I think that's true of all the counties, whether you're a Powell Countyan or Bath County or, Pike County. There was Stanton. So the capital of Powell County, Kentucky, is Stanton. And we have these nice courthouses. I'm looking at the courthouse in Stanton. It doesn't seem, it's got looks like a clock tower and a bell tower, but it's only like 2 stories high, 3 stories high. It's not that impressive. Usually courthouse Montgomery's in the 6th district too. So downtown Mount Sterling, it looks picturesque, old school, all those facades, small little 1 square, sort of town business district. Now, they're saying that Mount Sterling is named for an ancient burial mound called Little Mountain and for the town of Stirling in Scotland. And so that's weird. Why would it be named 2 different things? Saying named for the Little Mountain, but it's also named for Stirling in Scotland. That's good. There are some Scots-Irish that came here early on, but why would it be called an ancient? It can't be both. It cannot be both of those. So Wikipedia, for once, Usually they're pretty good, but they're wrong this time. And so it doesn't say exactly why, but the town of Stirling in Scotland, that seems to make sense to me. Mount Stirling, it's kind of little mountain. Why would it call it the burial mound? Interesting people that came out of Mount Sterling, Kentucky, in Montgomery County. Ernie Fletcher, which was the governor of Kentucky, he got into some ethics fucking violations charges and wound up that fucked up his shit. Nancy Green, also, which is the original Aunt Jemima. So when you have Aunt Jemima, I got Aunt Jemima. I feel like I should, in a way, honor Nancy Green, because that's who it's after. I'll have some Aunt Jemima coming up. But Nancy Green was also from Mount Sterling. So Ernie Fletcher is the one that had the baseball bat when he went out to talk to Jay Leno. And a whole bunch of churches. There's Episcopal churches, Methodist. There's some cemeteries and depots. Lots of historical places. The W.T. Fitzpatrick House. You got to save. Surprisingly, you also have in the very 89% white, city of Mount Sterling, you have a Confederate monument of Mount Sterling. So just, it's typical shit, just typical backwards, fucking toothless, can't read, illiterate, drinking Mountain Dew all the time, and chicken fucking. This is what Mount Sterling is all about. The Confederate monument is like they want to live in the past. They want to live backwards, and they don't want to be civilized. They're proud of their backwardsness. They're proud of being, they're loud and proud of their fucking stupidity. They're like, I ain't a word and I ain't going to say it. Old Skeeter. Fucking Skeeter. So Confederates, huh? Stanton, Kentucky, which is the capital of Powell County, is governed by a mayor-council form of government. The current mayor is Dale Allen. A representative body of the city of Stanton is the city council. The council members include Dixie, Lockhurst, Marguerite. I don't know if any of these are up to date. The Stanton Police Department is a 24-hour department. The current chief of police is Kevin Neal, replacing the retiring Robert Matthews. The Stanton Police Department is a fully functioning police department, and they're serious. So they work with Clay City Police Department, Powell County Sheriff's Office, Kentucky State Police, and county agencies, federal agencies located on Court Street next to the Powell County Courthouse. The Stanton Police Department can be contacted by calling the Powell County Dispatch Center at 606-663-4116. This is Wikipedia.
There's never in the history of the Democratic Party, since we've had superdelegates, ever been a race which was decided by superdelegates. And I'm pretty sure the superdelegates...
Fuck you, Howard Dean! You fucking sellout motherfucker! Elitist piece of shit! Yeah! Fucking Howard Dean, the Scream! Fucking superdelegate, unapologetic, fucking elitist, goddamn fucking... He's the insider. He's a political fucking insider. He's establishment.
You had the following look.
He's like, yeah, superdelegates are fucking cheating, and I get to cheat, so fuck your vote.
At the time, you had a tough time telling your supporters to vote for your opponent, because it was such a passionate
Yeah, good
campaign.
Point, you fucking hypocrite.
I would argue that Bernie Sanders fans are even more passionate about it. Do you really think he can get them to not vote for Hillary?
He can, but he's got to give them some time. When I dropped out, I felt terrible. Because all my supporters, of course, had slept on.
You're anti-war. I remember.
You said to you, facing a decline in the race was because you had a moment during the campaign.
The Scream speech?
The Scream speech, right? And
no, that was in Nevada and Michigan and South Carolina.
That moment, many people consider the turning point of that. And for those who haven't seen, this is all it was. This is what happened, and this is what changed the race for Howard Dean.
Uh-oh. We're going to South Dakota and Oregon and Washington and Michigan, and then we're going to Washington, D.C. to take back the White House.
How would that ever end the campaign? That's what he's a good point. The pundits were saying that shit. So that's fucking bullshit.
I mean,
That doesn't end your campaign unless you're a dumb
that
fuck
was enough for
and you
people.
believe the
You
media.
had to go on TV and your wife had to say that you are not a violent man and you had to... That was enough. In 2004, that was enough. Sort of wrongish thing. Donald Trump, rule number one, you never apologize. Next time you go, yeah, at the next interview, they go, are you a madman? You go, yeah! And you're going to go straight to the top of the poll. I promise you that, my friend. Straight to the top of the poll.
Howard Dean's so fucking lame. So you saw that, right, America? You seeing Trevor Noah? So Howard Dean is a super delegate. He's unapologetic and proud that he's a fucking elitist insider. The game is rigged. It's like the Electoral College. They want to refine the masses' vote because they don't think we know what the fuck we're talking about, who we like and who we don't like. They think we're too simple. We'll go for the McGoverns and the Bernie Sanders and the fucking radical fringe because that's who we like, the people, the exciting people, the ones who tell us the truth, so they don't trust the people. So therefore, that's why we have super delegates.